Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus full moon for the month of February tarot oracle reading. And Aquarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Aquarius, we still all have a little bit of Aquarius in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Aquarius in? That is where this energy is likely to show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Please be aware that this is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching this at this time, it's the perfect time for you. If it has been some time since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could really give you more clarity in your situation. Are you coming up to join the reading, Stella, or are you just going to be loud? Come on, come up. No, I'm not. I'm going to go eat instead. All right, so we're going to start with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the sun coming in. So the sun is representative of God, and it's the happiest card in the deck. It's whatever the sun, the cards around the sun are, it shines light on them. So it shines the happiness around, and it also can provide some clarity to a lot of situations, shining light on the truth. This is saying that this is the underlying energy for the entire reading, and it's a happy for you outcome. It's talking about being on your destined path, that you were meant to be happy since a child. There's already a lot of energy coming in from this one card. What this is indicating is, like, you notice this child is just like totally carefree, no reins, no fear. They're riding their pony, and they have this heavy banner, and they're carrying it with ease. And it's saying that you may have come onto this earth to have a particular heavy mission for God, but you're doing really well, and you're going to be happy in the end. And this is the energy of the sunflowers. The sunflowers turn to the sun and follow the sun. Also, the full moon that we have coming up on the 1st of February is actually in the sign of Leo. And Leo energy, come up here, if you're going to come up here, Stella, and be a good girl, or quit making all this noise so that we can't enjoy the reading. Do your job. Her job is to purr. Are you going to be a good girl, or do I have to put you in the bedroom? Okay, she's got happy feet now. She's making a decision. All right, so the energy right now, I apologize for that, but she'll just sit here and meow at me. She wants me to feed her, but I already have fed her. Your food is right there if you want to go eat it. So here we go again. So this moon that we have, the full moon that we have on February 1st, is in the sign of Leo, and Leo is ruled by the sun. So this full moon is talking about, it has a lot of romance attached to it, and it's also about creative expression. And it's kind of, the Leo energy is born to lead, but it's also the stage of life is that of like teenage boys. And when you think about how impulsive teenage boys can be, and how, you know, they say now, they used to say it takes like 21 years for your brain to develop in the frontal lobe to be able to have self-control over your impulses and that emotional front of your brain. And now they're saying it could be as late as like 24 or so. So, you know, it's talking about having like being, you know, teenage boys. Think of teenage boys and their impulsive behavior, looking for adventure in all the wrong places, that kind of energy. So it's also a very, you know, beautiful energy. It's like really enthusiastic and, you know, really like looking for adventure. And so that is also describing the energy of the year of the horse coming in. And the year of the horse energy is coming in on February 17th. We are moving from the Chinese New Year of the snake. The snake is shedding its skin. And I feel like what better time to shed your skin than in a few days from now on February 1st, letting go of anything that is holding you back from being in this beautiful energy that you want to be in. And so the year of the horse, the snake energy is giving in to the year of the horse on the 17th of February. and it will be the year of the fiery horse. So the year of the fiery horse energy is really adventurous, and it's about setting high goals that you want to reach. It's talking about in love, it's talking about being very passionate, and like horses are all heart. The danger here is to control any impulsive behavior, and also not to go so hard at something, like to make your goals so challenging that there's no way that you can meet them in the time that you're allotting, and then you burn yourself out so you don't get to cross the finish line. That's the kind of energy that we're kind of in right now. And Leo, the Aquarius energy, is really affected by this Leo full moon, because on the horoscope wheel, Leo, the opposing sign, is Aquarius energy. So Leo is saying, I need to express myself. I need to look after my own needs. I want to be the leader here. And even if maybe they're not ready to lead, they want to lead anyway. It's that kind of energy. And the Aquarius energy is saying, hey, dude, we have to look after the needs of the whole. We have to look after the energy of the group. We have to look after the energy of the family. If we're a leader in the country, we have to look after our own country. And then we have to consider the implications of our actions in the global front. And we just had that big meeting in Davos where the elites get together to decide how they're going to run the world. And so that energy is really, we're all feeling it on the planet right now. And at this time, we also have this big snowstorm cutting a swath across North America, but mainly in the United States. And so it's disrupting communication, because the ice storms, the ice storms are bad enough, but it's the damage then that they do to the infrastructure, basically. So there could be a lack of communication at this time as well. There is a need for leadership, but maybe people aren't ready to lead yet, kind of energy. And they're saying, hey, I need some time to get my shift together here, leave me alone. And the other members of the family are saying, hey, you need to get out there and help us clean up the snow. And the snow and the rain and the ice that's hitting the driveway, so we can go drive somewhere. That's the kind of energy we're in. And then we have the Magician coming in. So the Magician is the first card that when the Fool goes on his journey in the major arcana, he starts at the 0 point, and the very first card is the Magician. So this is talking about, these are the tools that you have on your, you have at your hand that you can use on your journey. And this is about bringing what you were destined to bring down to earth and to make it happen. And this is like, you're supposed to create this beautiful garden. And you're at the 0 point, you're starting a new cycle, and there's infinite potential here. And the interesting thing is that the Magician is also wearing an Ouroboros around his waist. And the Ouroboros is a snake biting its tail. And we're leaving the year of the snake on February 17th. And that's why it's so important, like all this energy. And this is confirming this. We've got the sun coming in saying, Leo, you're a born leader, but you need to go inward, and you need to really decide, what the most responsible actions you could take right now would be to be a strong leader for your family, for your business, for yourself, like that kind of energy. And you're on your journey, and you're doing your best, you have the tools you need, but it's really necessary for you to let go of anything that is holding you back right now. And what better time than to shed that energy at the full moon on February 1st, just before, like a snake does. A snake sheds its skin, and then it becomes a new version of itself. And it's saying, like, hey, take the opportunity on February 1st to go inward, and to really, work on using your intuition, and really put a plan in place for yourself so that you're at your very strongest as a leader. And so, because then on the 17th, we'll enter the year of the horse, and you don't want to be making impulsive decisions. You want to be making really strong choices here. So this is really like, this is basically, okay, we're done the reading. That's basically what this full moon is about, but we're going to keep going, Aquarius. So of course, being Aquarius on the opposite opposing energy, the sun is in your sign and it's shining light on any hidden illusions in the Leo energy about being a leader. We're seeing that in the politics all around the world right now. And so a lot of people that are spiritual will say, oh, just, create your own reality and don't even watch the news, because the news is just going to bring your vibration down because it's all bad news. They never talk about the good shift. I disagree. I feel like it's imperative that you watch the news, to even if it's just 5 minutes, just so you have a clue what's going on out there, so that you can make strong choices, because whatever is happening at the top is also definitely going to affect the people underneath, and also the people underneath are affecting the decisions of the people that are making the decisions, where it seems like it or not. We are, because that's energetically we are. Yikes. Yay, Aquarius. So we're really going to go deep in this reading. Okay, so the devil energy is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is a very deep planet. Like it brings up a lot of like hidden aspects, and it's a very serious, responsible planet. And these two lovers are they are yoked to each other, and they're also yoked to the black box of Saturn. And so this is saying the devil is sitting right on this box, like on his haunches. This represents animal instincts. This doesn't represent lovers so much as lusters. Like they are not necessarily in love, but they really lust for each other. And this energy is talking about some form of temptation has come in. And, you're deciding, what am I going to do with this temptation? So when this energy comes in, like the devil is not going to tempt you with some, like, hey, I've got some real shifty stuff for you and it smells really bad, and hey, why don't you sign your soul away to me? It's going to be something very shiny, something that you really like, wow, is that ever shiny? I would really like to have that kind of energy. That's what temptation is about. And the devil does not do his own dirty work. He always gets a minion to do his dirty work for him. So this is, we're going to find out who the minion is. We're going to cover this energy. We're not going to get the truth from the devil. The devil's very manipulative and will tell you exactly what you want to hear to manipulate you into doing what is best for his needs. And so the energy covering is, you've decided, I think it's time to get out of these troubled waters and move on to calmer waters with God. That's what this card represents. So this is talking about taking this energy and going inward, and that's the full moon. Now the full moon is on the 1st. I'm posting this on, it'll be the 26th. So we're very close to that energy, and you definitely will feel it 3 days before, but you'll feel it even more so. Plus the other energy is that Neptune which is another very serious big planet that has deep, deep meaning, is exiting from the sign of Pisces into the sign of Aries on the 26th, when this is going to be posted. And this energy is like Neptune. It takes Neptune 14 years in each sign. So Neptune has been kind of going into Aries and then going back into Pisces, and then going into Aries and then going back into Pisces. And this time Neptune is moving into Aries, and it's saying, I'm staying here now. And that's the energy I'm in. So the 26th is kind of your last opportunity for Neptune to be in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is all about making like the emotional dreams come true, being able to sink or swim kind of energy. So if you have something that you really have always wanted since you were a child, and this kind of represents the inner child. If you've had this dream and it didn't work out, let the universe know, hey, hey Neptune, before you leave, could you put in a good word to to God about the Piscean energy there? I want my dream to come true. And show the universe that you're taking steps of act, just small steps. You don't have to do anything major. Let the universe know, hey, I haven't given up on my dreams. That's the energy that you want to be in. And so that's like when the day this is posted, And then we're going to move into, you know, on February 1st, we will have the full moon. That energy generally we can feel 3 days before and 3 days after for sure, and sometimes way longer than that. So this is about, okay, I'm taking all of this energy, all of my thoughts, what I need to do, and I'm going to go inward, and I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to pray, and I'm going to get some guidance from God here. And this pole here is representing this type of boat. You see the rough waters here. To move away from that, he has to dig very deep to be able to push this boat forward. So this is talking about the conveyor is like a ferryman, usually is how I see it. And this young child next to this person can represent your inner child and needing to heal some of the thoughts from your mind. But we have 2 swords here, and for whatever reason, because it's sitting on this card right here, I feel like this could be a couple that has, they've decided we need to dig deep here, and we need to really move into calm waters. We need to pray, we need to meditate, we need to take the opportunity of this full moon so that we can make really good choices for our family right now. It's very important. And the Aquarian, like Leo is really feeling this energy right now because of course the Leo, it's a Leo moon. Having said that, Aquarius energy is feeling it just as intensely because all of a sudden there's all this revelation coming from the sun shining on the leadership role and everything that's in the Leo moon. So this is a really good time. And look at this. Some communication comes in, and I feel that that communication is like your thoughts. And this is talking about this card can represent you know, your aha, eureka, I know what to do kind of energy. It's that kind of energy. Or it's about like the sword is a double-edged sword. So it can talk about seeing more options. You know, like maybe you could only see one way and now you're being able to see another. So either this horse is running as quickly as they can to deliver this information to you before you move off with God here so that you have an idea of what you need to meditate on. Or it could be running away from this energy, like not one, you know, that kind of energy. But it seems to be running to it. So it's like you have a thought and you need to go and meditate on it and really go inward and take that time, because especially if you're the head of the family, so that you can make a strong decision for your family at this time. And so the knights would work for the king and the queen, and they would deliver messages far and wide, and they would do it by horse. And you know, in those days, there wasn't like all the communication we have now. This communication could be coming in as an email, you know, a text message. It could be a phone call, a letter in the mail that arrives, official papers. Sometimes this can represent the energy of indictments, that kind of energy, because this is representing justice coming in sometimes in a very quick way. In either case, the rider, the knight and the horse are both, you can see they're very stressed out. And this can indicate, again, that energy I was talking here. Look at the difference between these two energies. This one is happily with God in the boat, and this one is saying we need to stop this. And this is talking about the opposite energy. You can see these are totally, and look at that, almost looks like it could be the same horse. Do you see that? So this energy could be like your thoughts, and you notice we can't see the point. So this means I don't feel that this knight has the full information, but he's trying to get at least the information that he does have delivered as quickly as possible. And he's running through barren land. He's running against the wind. It's highly unlikely that it's going to change anything, but it's kind of like, okay, on impulse, I'm going to try this one last thing sort of energy. And impulsive behavior leading up into the year of the horse is like really not good energy to be in. It can really backfire really in a big way. I don't know why that card is upside down, but I don't take upside down cards. I don't take reversals. Keep it in mind. This is talking about not using your intuition, I'm feeling, and that's why it showed up. But let's see it upright. The high priestess sits next to God, on the throne next to God. She understands the cycles of the moon. She understands that this is telling you it's a good time to go inward and do some meditation. Like, it's imperative. You need to ask the question logically, but if you're looking for an answer to your question and you are wanting a logical answer, you're just going to get a question. That's how it works, because that's how logic works. And so what you need is to ask a logical question and get an intuitive answer, and then apply logic to that. And this energy is not being logical in any way, shape, or form. It's being very emotional. It's still in these waters. It's a very chaotic energy, and it's also saying sometimes the question is more important than the answer anyway, and you probably know what this is about anyway. That's the energy I'm getting. Whew, a lot of energy here. Judgment coming in. And it's so weird, because this is such a sunny, the sky in the background all full of the sun and promise, and here it's all so dreary. Judgment's coming in. And this judgment, the ancestors on the other side are cheering. They're coming out of their boxes, right? And they're like, hey, judgment is finally here. We've been waiting generations for this kind of energy. The descendants and the ancestors are cheering together. So this can talk about skeletons coming out of the closet. This can talk about Pandora's box being opened. So when one piece of information comes out, it leads to another piece of information coming out and another skeleton in the closet. And before you know it, it's like, holy shift, there's a lot of energy here. And that's what I'm feeling. This could have been something that's been happening for generations. And this energy, I feel like, look at the sunny, look at the difference in the energy here. This is talking about you were destined to be on a path of a happy life, and to be in this really sunny, happy energy. And it's probably karma coming in that from your ancestors, and it hasn't been cleaned up. And that's why they're all cheering, because that's what people refer to as a generational curse. And so your actions could break this curse or make it even worse, right? And that's why I feel like it's saying that the question is more important than the answer. You already know the answer. It's the question of whether or not you're going to be able to do it. And then we have this energy talking about a celebration. I don't know my cards when I shuffled them, but I'm taking it in mind that this came in upside down again. So this could be a real celebration that the ancestors are celebrating, because they're saying, hey, finally, this judgment is coming through. And they may have been waiting. This could be your great-great-grandparents kind of energy, and cheering you on, right? But this energy for me generally says, I know the cups are about love, and the cups are about romantic love. They're about the love you have for your family and that, but generally they're about romantic love. And these three people are toasting, but they're not looking at each other. None of them are looking at each other. They're looking at what they're toasting. So they're not toasting each other. They're toasting some event that's happened or some action that was taken kind of energy. And quite often this can represent, it's not even about them, it's about someone else. It's gossip, it's slander, it's that kind of energy. And the thing is, in many countries, in many cultures, especially in Europe, if you don't look someone in the eye when you toast them, there's a superstition that a lot of people believe that if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, it causes 7 years of bad luck in your love life. So that would kind of defeat the purpose of romantic love here. And quite often this card can talk about 3 people being involved in a relationship where there's 2. And so there could be a third party in this relationship that you're unaware of. And maybe that's some of the information that's coming in. So this could be something that's happening that the third party that is with your partner has been dealing with, and you're now finding that information out, and that's the energy. Or you were the one that was in that energy, and now you have to deal with it. So we'll see what comes up here. We have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles this is talking about someone that is really respected for their business acumen, someone that's a financial advisor, high up. This could be the Minister of Finance in the government. This could be the energy of if it's an accountant, it's one that's a partner. It's kind of that energy, someone that's really highly respected, has a lot of experience, someone that you go to for financial advice and they give you good financial advice. This can be auditors, and if they're accountants, like they're like, you know, probably corporate and like, you know, the kind of accountants that deal with like legal matters in running countries, whatever that would be, that kind of energy. Somewhat like these are people that have reached the peak, you know, like they're very high up, have a lot of responsibility. They're well paid, but they work, you know, like they're responsible for, they have a lot of responsibility is what's coming up. So handling a lot of money here. And so this energy quite often, well, it represents a legacy of wealth. And so we're not talking about a little bit of money here, we're talking about a lot of money is involved in this equation here. So this is how you identify with yourself right now, is you have been tempted. So that's why I'm saying this could be an energy where you decided to give in to your temptation and had a relationship with someone outside of the marriage, and now that information is coming to light. So this could represent you and or your partner trying to clear this energy up, get out of the chaos, go back to God, get back on your destined path. Some information is coming in about your abundance and your self-worth, and it's got to do with a lot of money. And so this could be like, this is like someone's trying to get this information to you. And I find like it's really interesting because we're having so many communication issues right now with the storm. And even like if the lines didn't go down, it's all the energy of people being told like don't just sit on the internet and watch, you know, videos just because you feel like it right now. I mean, people could freeze to death here. It's really cold, and if the power grid goes down, a lot of the homes that are affected, I was looking into this, they're in like Texas and Atlanta and in places like that, and they are run by electricity. So if there's no power, these people are going to be facing like frozen power line, you know, pipelines in the house, and can do a lot of damage. I'm from the prairies in Canada, and I'm telling you, you know, I was speaking to someone a few days ago from Saskatchewan, from Regina, Saskatchewan, and they were talking about that it was -50 that day, and they didn't mention the wind chill, because usually, and that's Celsius, and it does get that cold. So it's like it is kind of, you know, this is kind of they're telling everybody right now, don't be using power needlessly, because we have you know, they have an emergency supply for these situations, and we need to save that to keep the houses heated so that people don't freeze here. And then we have this energy here of communication, yes, and this is coming in again, like the lack of communication, etc., and trying to get communication across, and perhaps it's been affected by the power lines going down somewhere. I don't know, I haven't really looked into the situation, if it's as bad as it has been sometimes in the past when this happens, because when the storm itself is hard enough, because when it's raining but it's cold enough to freeze, and it's freezing as it comes down, it's really heavy and it pulls power lines down, it causes some trees that are really fast growing in particular, that require a lot of water, have a lot of water in the trunk, and that energy can like freeze, and then it can cause the wood to splinter. You know, it swells, and then I learned that by when I moved from the prairies into British Columbia, where there are trees. I learned, and I had a yard with very big trees. I, you know, had to get tree experts to make sure that my trees in my yard were safe. So it's, you know, sometimes that can happen, like the water in the tree actually freezes, and it causes the tree to splinter or explode even, and causes the tree to come down. And there's all those kinds of things happening right now in communication. And then we have the home and family. So this is your emotional foundation. And I feel like this may have been in the family for a while, saying like something happened to us, and we've been wanting to get justice, and we've never gotten justice for it. And you could have great grandparents talking about it, kind of energy. And now they're all cheering, yay! It's finally there's going to be justice. And if not for them, at least for their descendants. And then we have, this is about creativity, romance, and children. So creativity in your romantic life can lead to, a third-party situation. This also it could be something to do with your children. So there could be something, there was some sort of infidelity, and someone is not actually your child that you thought was your child. That kind of energy can be coming in. They could be an adult now. They could still be a child. There's so many scenarios coming in right now. This is a collective reading, so just, don't run with, an idea. No, it has to apply to you. Use your intuition here. And also consult with an expert if you need to. And that's what this is saying. This may be a time where you need to consult with an expert, because there's some shift happening here that's, very iffy. Shifty, that kind of energy. So let's look into this a little bit more. And I feel like the communication around it has not been clear, and now the clarity is coming in, and it's explaining a lot of what happened in a different, in the true way. We do have, I have my deck, half my deck upside down and half the other. So we're going to take this again, the illusions of the moon coming through. So anything that was hidden. So this is talking about these emotional waters here. This is going to be the Aquarius energy. The sun is in Aquarius, and that is going to shine the light on anything in anyone or anything in the leadership position that has abused their power or hasn't made the best decisions. It's going to come to light now. The secrets are coming out of Pandora's box. The skeletons are coming out of the closet. So this could be a long time coming. We have this energy here of this poor lobster here is trying to stay on the path, climbing out of the water, going on the path here, and he has to pass by a domestic dog, and this is a wolf or a coyote, however you see it. And they're both howling at the moon. So this is talking about staying on the path, and being careful of the danger. You're going to be vulnerable, but you need to stay on the path either way. And these two pillars are representing the energy of stay on the path. And we have the sun reflecting the light on the moon from Aquarian energy onto the Leo full moon. That's the energy we have here. It's really, really very clear reading in many ways. And so this is talking about being vulnerable, but making the strong choices regardless in this energy. So discipline of the mind will give you freedom. And that's what this is talking about. The external forces coming in, you have to be really clear on the decisions you're making, and do not be impulsive. Don't do things out of, your emotions are running high, so you do something and then you regret it later. That's the kind of energy. And we have you would be rewarded for staying on your path. This is representing the universe is handing you this big pentacle, which is talking about this wealth. If you can stay on your path and you don't diverge and you don't give in to temptation. And if you have, then you're going to have to get back on your path to rectify it. Excuse me. As soon as I started talking about these external forces, my throat's closing up. So this is about, this is your North Star. Your North Star represents what you were put on Earth for, so your purpose and following that purpose. This is a reward for following your North Star, and even when it was really difficult staying on the path, and that God put you on, not that this guy did. Not that kind of energy. So then we have the energy of the Six of Pentacles coming in. So this is talking about, working away, planting seeds, and, doing the work that you do and learning as you go. And as you do that, you learn more and more about yourself, and you learn about business, and it's just a natural progression where you start understanding better who to invest in, who not to invest in, how much of yourself should you invest in, and how much do you, and this is again this energy that we're talking about between Leo and Aquarius. And Leo and Aquarius are the two signs that are feeling it the most right now. So this is saying, okay, now you have some experience here, you planted these seeds, you have enough of a harvest that you can give some to others and keep what you need to for yourself to continue going. And this is talking about knowing who to invest in and who not to. And this person here is not receiving anything. The scales of justice are hanging above their head here, because this is saying they've got something in their pocket here already. And this is saying, hey, they already have taken more than that. And this is a pickpocket. And so this person understands, hey, justice is going to be applied here. And so this energy is sow the seeds, reap the harvest, and remember, like, money, there's a saying, time is money. And so this isn't just talking about money, it's talking about investing. How much energy are you investing in others, and how much return are you getting for that investment? It's talking about that kind of energy. Then we have the Emperor coming in. So the Emperor is all four kings rolled into one. Someone who's wise, someone who is very much in control of his emotions. There's a high level of performance, no matter what profession or he's in, he's at the top. And so this is someone like that would be a Supreme Court judge, or someone that would be running a country, like a politician that is very high up, prime minister, president, that kind of energy. This could also represent, he's got his armor on, so he's underneath, like he is wearing his armor, so at a moment's notice he can get up. This is extremely alpha male energy. This could be representing a female in a very strong masculine energy. Not as often, but I can think of a few examples in the political newscape right now that are going on. So there's always that energy there. And so the Emperor is responsible for bringing justice down and being a really strong leader, and being able to make sure that things are put in the right place. And so that's the energy that's coming in here from the external forces. And then we have, this can leave some people out in the cold. I feel this is in the position of public opinion. And this is talking about energy of someone who is like a public figure, someone that, like running a country. And we just had that big meeting in Davos, and there was a lot of energy that came out of that. You look into it if you want to. There was a lot of countries there. There was a lot of corporations there, a lot of energy there. So this is talking about, I feel like in this position, it's talking about whatever is happening here is going to be very public, and it could be very embarrassing, and it could change the political dynamics, of a country, or even of several countries. We've seen that so much right now. There's so much energy, information coming out about what's really happening, and we've just got so much happening on the planet right now. Things are just, it seems so chaotic right now. So we're in that's just showing us that we're in a real period of expansion. And eventually it's going to come to contraction, and things will be put in order again. And that's the way the universe works. We're always spinning and spiraling into control and out of control kind of energy. And then we have the Hangman. And so there's times where you have to really understand that before taking an action, you really need to hang from the tree of knowledge. Like, this is like someone that's hanging upside down because they want to get a perspective that's totally opposite to theirs. That's that Aquarian Leo energy again, And so this is saying, once I have this enlightenment and I've really looked at both sides of the equation, I understand what both sides are saying, then I can make a real qualified decision that's not impulsive, because then I'm less likely to be left out in the cold with my decision. And we have here, what is it? Then all these opportunities come in. Okay, so this is good. So you're like a black hole sucking opportunity in. These are cups that were not available to you if you made this choice. If you made this choice, this is what you're going to miss out on. If you made this choice, this is what you're going to receive. That's just boom. Aquarius, Leo, Leo, Aquarius. And so this is talking about each of these as a gift. And some of them would have been really challenging to see as a gift because they're very, maybe the energy was really a big challenge. But if you stayed in the, like on the love side of things, and the love of what you do, and the love of, you know, just solving problems, etc., that kind of energy, then whatever decisions you make will be strong. And it's kind of saying like there's all these opportunities and these gifts, and it's up to you now. Which one are you going to tackle first? And then when you're done, you'll tackle another one, or are you going to take 2 or 3 at a time? How much of your energy can you invest in these new opportunities coming in? This is in your spiritual position. This is about blessings, waiting for the blessings to come in from taking the time to make strong actions. This is about public opinion, and you know, like that. This is representing someone that could possibly be a public figure. Like this, we're talking higher up energy, and this is affecting everyone in the country, everyone in the company, that kind of energy. And you know, this is talking about those seeds that were planted. There's a transition here. Something's happening, and that's this energy that's all coming in here. So let's see here. Let's clarify this. If you're enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and a comment, Aquarius. This is really intense for you, I'm sure. Whoops, there's the energy that wants to come out. And we have the Hierophant. So this is talking, the Hierophant, it just jumped out of the deck here. The Hierophant is in a position of bringing traditional structure, justice down to earth. And so the Hierophant sits between 2 pillars, and the Hierophant is talking about I'm bringing this energy down to earth, and I'm going to make sure that justice is here. And sometimes, like the energy, like all of this chaotic energy, the Hierophant has his hand in the form of a blessing, and his right hand, which is indicating this forward movement. And so this is saying that justice will be served, and it's already being, spiritual cord is in order, and that energy is coming down to the physical. And so I was about to say before that card, but this card popped out, and so this is what the underlying energy for the reading is. Justice will be served. I feel that represents this Emperor energy. I'm about to sneeze now. Oh, there's just like so much energy here. Someone feels like a real need to release, do it, you know, like get into that full moon energy, and recognize that it is a volatile emotionally time, but in a different way. I feel like for some signs you don't even really notice it that much, but Aquarius and Leo energy are really noticing it right now because it's intensifying those 2 roles. I'm clarifying with my Oracle Tales from the Vector, and this is a courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So this is something I started working on in 2007. In 2020, I finished 64 paintings. I'm an artist, but they were really big paintings of dragons flying through the sky, and they all had their own story, and they were from a different, all of them were from a different country or place. And, you know, they had different information that I painted into them. So I had a lot of fun with it. There was never a moment where I was wondering, oh, I wonder what I should paint next. But it took me a while. There were 64 of them, as I said, and a lot of them are 3-foot by 4-foot paintings, and they've got crystals and all that kind of energy. There's some beautiful dragonflies that have Swarovski crystals, and they're really shiny paintings. So it was also a lot of work when I had them photographed, like for the, you know, to be printed, because he had to use 2 cameras. Yeah, it was an interesting process. But now I am working on the information that goes with the deck. I have it complete, and I do have a lot of information, but I want to clarify it by actually using the deck. So the numbers of the cards here represent the numbers of the paintings as they are featured in my gallery. And so those, you can, in the description box below, I will put them in the order they appear here, and then you can go to the website if you want. It's talesfromthevector.com, TAILS. All right, so that said, here we go. And we have the Aquarius energy talking about the Magician. So This is what, it's just confirming it. So, the Aquarius energy is about taking small steps, doing small experiments, judging the results, observing, okay, how did that work out? And then taking a slightly different, maybe, route and applying a different experiment to it. So it's about, using your intellect. And then we have the energy here is Sagittarius energy on this energy, saying, I want adventure. I want to travel. I want what the devil is offering here. I really want it. I'm bored. I want that shiny object. I want to go on that holiday. I want to expand my financial horizons, and I want to do it really quickly. And so maybe I will take them up on this offer. That's the energy. I want to make it really clear here when I'm talking about the horoscope signs when they come in this collective reading. I'm not talking about, it was an Aquarius that's a magician and the Sagittarius is the one that's listening to the devil. It's more about the state of being of that sign. We all have a little bit of every planet and sign within us. And if you've had your birth chart done, you can tell which house is that planet sitting in, and that will give you an indication of how it affects your life. If your sun sign, the reason why we in tarot reading they'll use your sun sign is because that is the one that is going to be have the most influence on you. And so just be aware. And I'm also talking about the stage of life. So the Aquarius energy is the most mature of all the air signs, and the Sagittarius energy is the most mature of all of the fire signs. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune is turning. So yeah, there's this information that's coming in is going to turn the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is the past, present, and future, all coming together, and everything that's happened, all of a sudden, boom, it comes together, and through synchronicities, the universe implements justice, basically, and puts, what this is saying, this time of expansion is now as complete, and now we need to get into a cycle of contraction where we bring it all in and we get it back in order before we go back into expansion, because it's getting too chaotic. Things are flying off, flying out there a little bit too chaotic. And the scotoma is like a scotoma is just a part of your eye where, if you think of your eye as having like pixels, and it's about like the camera like being slightly off in a few of those pixels. So you see the big picture and you don't really even notice it, but there's like small things that you don't actually see the detail of. And that's what this is talking about. There's some sort of blind spot. And it's that's why I feel like this is saying there's some sort of blind spot in the logic you were using, and you really need to use your intuition. And again, it's saying sometimes the question is more important than the answer. Whatever that means to you, that just is coming in again. And then we have expectations. So when the Fool goes on their journey, if you have an expectation that everything's going to go the way you think it will, you're going to be disappointed, or you're going to have like a lot of shift come up that you don't expect. And so this is talking about expectations create limitations. So if the Fool goes on a foolish journey instead of going on this energy, you're going to end up having a lot of limitations be put in your way. If you're on your divine path that you were put on this planet for, it's going to be a happy journey and you can anticipate the results. But if you become foolish, then you're going to eventually have to deal with it. And that's the energy coming up. And the sad thing is, like, this represents karma coming in. And people a lot of times think of karma as punishment. But karma is actually when the universe contracts and it's putting things back in order. So it's cause and effect of your actions. And if your parents have passed on before that happened, then they're on the other side waiting for that karma to hit the family bloodline. So if you don't look after your shift while you're on the planet here, your descendants will eventually have to look after it for you. And And if you're doing shifty shift, your ancestors are feeling it on the other side. So, you can't shirk the responsibility. The universe is a very mathematically organized entity. And then we have the sun coming in. So again, this is saying the sun is shining light on anything that this is about. I feel like there definitely was a temptation to have a third party enter a couple's relationship. I don't know, because this is in your energy and how you're identifying with yourself at this time, it could mean, but you're also identifying with this energy of choosing God's path instead of the devil's. So I guess for some of you it's one way, and for some of you it might be the other. And then we're talking about the Virgo energy coming in here, and this is about strong communication. And we talked about how the communication was down, in a lot of places. And so Mercury rules the Virgo energy, and Virgo is all about really responsible communication. So Virgo energy is like when you have the education, the stage of life, you've gone to college or whatever, you've worked really hard. You're starting to, have maybe be noticed because you're good at what you do. Maybe you were the valedictorian, you're really intelligent. The people around you are starting to say they're really doing a really good job here, and they're a really good communicator. But the Mercury energy says there's times where communication goes down, and you may have heard when people talk about astrological influences, they'll talk about when Mercury is in retrograde, because when Mercury is in retrograde, quite often, communication goes crazy. I didn't check. I'm going to check where, if there's an upcoming Mercury retrograde. It's a good time to go inward and really figure out where you want to go. It's not a time to just shut down. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not going to do anything because of Mercury retrograde. To me, that's kind of silly. What you need to do is make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. And really work on, making sure that the path that you're on, what you're doing, that any contracts you sign, any people you affiliate with, all of that energy, that it is actually in alignment with your path that you're on. And so Virgo is really, really good at putting things back in order. It's kind of an energy, they say cleanliness is next to godliness. Virgo loves when things are clean and everything is in there in its right place. And they're very good at noticing if, analytical critique from a Virgo can be really powerful, because they really have, that's how their mind works. And but sometimes the Virgo energy has to be careful, because it can become very anal critique or criticism rather than the critique. And the thing is about Virgos is they tend to do that to themselves a lot. So it's kind of that energy. You have to be really, there's a fine line between when it's going to empower you and when it can hold you back, that kind of energy. Then we have the Gemini energy. So there's a lot of signs coming in here wanting to say their piece here. So the Gemini energy is talking about when you go to kindergarten, that age. And so I feel like this is it's sitting on the illusions here. So there could be some things that have happened when your subconscious mind was being formed, and that's when you're a child. And that quite often represents this energy. This energy can represent an inner child energy and needing to kind of reparent yourself, to figure out, you might make impulsive decisions and then later you're like, why did I do that? And it's because of something that happened when you were a baby or a child and you just can't remember it. But the subconscious mind is the one that's most heavily imprinted on us. And when you think about it, you don't remember what happened, but the people who were in charge of your care at that time will tell you, oh, you were like this and you were like that. These days now, we usually have a lot more photographs and some videos sometimes, but you really have to rely on other people's information regarding who you were at that time. And so there may be some illusions about your childhood that you need to reparent yourself through, so that you make stronger choices when it comes to relationships, that kind of energy. And we now have the Scorpio energy coming in also. So Scorpio energy is talking about manifesting from the sacral chakra. Like, this is the sexual gladiator of the universe. And so this is talking at the, Mars is a very aggressive sign, and Pluto They're saying that, I don't know where they stand on this now. Some people say it's a planet, some people say it's not a planet. So this is like, are you going to divide and conquer, or are you going to unite? When Scorpio is at its finest, this energy is about manifesting from that sacral chakra, which is where we create from our, what the ultimate creation would be, a child, when you think about it from that energy. But it also is about, how are you handling that energy, and what are you manifesting? That's that. And Scorpio energy, when it's at its best, it causes people to unite and move forward in a strong way. And then we have the falling star energy. So the falling star, this is talking about, in matters of love, that, falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So it's like you have to love yourself enough to make strong decisions for yourself. There we have it again, that Leo energy saying, look, I really need to understand this for myself and make sure I'm strong before I can get into your Aquarian energy here. And this is talking, I feel like, the difference between 2025 and that line we crossed when we entered into 2026. We have the Tower, yeah. So the Tower is generally a reality check. In my oracle, it is a representative of divorce, but it is saying the best or the worst divorce would be from source. And so it's like, that's indicating if someone has gone off their path kind of energy. And then we have the Star. And so you are meant to shine. And so this energy is talking like, if you're feeling like, I just never feel like I fit in. I always feel like I don't understand it. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to be the best leader I can be. I'm trying to look out for the needs of others. But I always feel like I'm kind of observing rather than being part of the experiment. Or maybe you're being experimented on and you're feeling like a lot of people are observing you. It's that kind of energy. Feeling like a sore thumb sticking out. That's because you weren't meant to fit in. You weren't meant to be. You were meant to be stand out. You're not meant to fit in, and that's why you feel that way. So it's not a bad thing. You may feel like you're being left out in the cold, like people don't understand you, or you don't understand other people, whatever. But this energy is saying that's because you have a unique mind and your unique qualities. The Star energy is that energy of mixing, your special qualities in with the universal waters, and then being able to bring that down to earth in your own special way. And it's about, again, go inward and hang from the tree of knowledge and look at things from a different perspective, not as someone that's being left out, but someone that is actually a born leader. You just maybe haven't noticed it yet. Like that kind of energy. So yes, this is about worldly and otherworldly desires. So we're talking about the spiritual as well as the physical. And this is talking about give yourself permission to go after your authentic desires. Otherwise, when you receive what is not in your authentic desires, it wears off really quick. The shiny gets dull really quick. And then it's kind of like a lot of work to clean that up. It's anticlimactic. And then we have the surrender. Okay, so I really feel like the surrender here is about surrendering your spirituality to God, who's in control of everything. God is actually in control of the devil as well. The devil works for God. Somebody has to do God's dirty work, and the devil said, I'll do it. So God said, okay, someone has to do it. People have to have choice. They have to decide which way they're going to go. So this is about surrendering doesn't mean that you're giving up. It means that you're allowing God to guide you here, and you're willing to go inward and get that information you need, and then using your psychic abilities and your intuition to be able to hear the message God has, so that you make as strong a choice as you can at the time that you're in that energy. This is a really powerful reading, Aquarius. Thank you. I love the Aquarius energy. I'm learning more about the Aquarius energy with the AI and all that. And like, there's always pluses and minuses to everything. And Aquarius is willing to really look at that and really experiment with it and observe it. And that is something that a lot of us really that are not in Aquarian energy really don't like to do. So this has been a really, I feel some really powerful insight that will really could benefit everyone. Please do like and comment if you've enjoyed this reading, and consider subscribing to my channel if you resonate with the energy. Thank you, Aquarius, for your powerful insight at this time. It's much appreciated. I will be back with another reading for you regarding the beginning of January in the near future here. Bye for now.